Hey, lady, thanks for clicking in. I haven't had time together with you in quite some time, and I've really been missing you all, but I didn't know what to say. And have you ever had that experience when you just felt like your whole world just turned upside down and your mind went blank? That's what we're going to be talking about today. My name is Jenni Page. I am the founder of the Greater Women Club, and we are all about making good women great. That's you. If you're a woman, you're in the club. um, I love this time together, and want to honor your time so much that if I didn't have my 1, 2, 3 steps, or if I didn't have a clear understanding of what I was going to say, I just couldn't get in front of the camera. And then I realized what I'm experiencing is probably something that lots of people experience, and so I thought I would just kind of talk it through and how am I keeping myself afloat. Speaking of afloat, there's lots of people in the United States that are dealing with some pretty serious water issues from water coming down and waters coming up. And to be honest, in my own life, in my own area, I had a bit of a freeze inside. And when we have those moments that really trigger our worries, sometimes our minds will just go blank. Sometimes our minds will go in many, many different places, but other times our mind will very much go blank. And that's kind of what happened. I also ran into an old friend of mine that I've had for many, many years in my life, and I hadn't seen her for several years. And in the several years since I haven't been able to see her, I've really grown in terms of how I feel about myself, the type of boundaries I can use now, just my overall feeling of competency and my feeling of okayness in the world. And so when I was talking to my friend, I started to remember back to those days when I was reckless, just wanting love. If you are a person that just wants love, like I was, oftentimes we don't have boundaries. And if we don't have boundaries, then what kind of love do we get? Probably not the right kind. So I experienced that in a lot of life. I have been feel like I've been hustling my whole life to try to do what it is I got to do. There's never enough time, never enough money, never enough resources, never enough. And at the same time, we just squeak by. We just keep making it. And as I come to talk with lots and lots of people over a lifetime, and maybe that's what's helped me to give me the confidence that I have today, no matter where we are in life, we have those feelings. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of house we live in. If we live in a house, it doesn't matter where we live, how we live. Um, we all will experience it's the human condition. It's the human condition of not having all the answers and struggling to get through and just making it through, but we just keep on making it. I started to think back on my early years at how many mistakes I made. And I started to think about how much I hurt myself just by just wanting love. I mean, now, and I always want anything that I'm talking about, I want to hopefully leave it vague enough to where you can fill in your own blanks and come up with your own insight. So, how is it that I make what I experience vague enough? I just want to say, and you can fill in your own blanks, that when you don't value yourself enough, if you don't understand your own value, and I am grabbing at mine all the time, I am working to see my value all the time because it gives us courage to make the right decisions in tough moments. And I think there are many times in my history that I did not make the right choices. However, I was making those choices out of the right heart. And that's what I got to give myself credit for. And I certainly want you to give credit to yourself for that too. We cannot choose the outcome of situations. Um, and, sometimes we got to live in some pretty hard consequences. But we got to remember we're learning. And all the time we're learning. And have you ever heard the whole statement, do your best, leave the rest, angels do no more? I mean, ladies, we can just give our best because that's all we got. And as I started to think about that, I feel so much better about myself these days, and being in that place gives me the courage to be able to get in front of this camera right now and want to, come alongside, you know hey ladies, here I am, come on, come on, come on along, and but what I got to remember is probably 5, 10 years from now, I'm going to look back to myself right now, and I'm going to have compassion for myself because I didn't know what it is I'm going to know in 5 to 10 years from now. And that's what I figured out. That's what kind of helped to break up whatever I was experiencing up here, because honestly, I got to a place of maybe feeling like I had nothing to say, nothing of value to say. That's exactly where my mind went. I thought, look at me. I've made all these mistakes in life. Who am I to think that I'm anything different than what I was? And in a lot of ways, I am the same, because back then I was really trying to learn and do the best I could. And right now I try to learn and do the best job I could. And that's all I can do. That's all any of us can do. It's just to be open enough to evaluate ourselves, to evaluate our moments, and to try to learn as much as we can in order to do the best that we can. I heard a kind of a thought about how we are supposed to go through life, and this made me feel a lot better, because I feel like I'm in a perpetual state of curiosity. Like I really never know how something's going to turn out. And that can make me feel a little fragile in the world. And at the same time, I've become comfortable with that, because in history and looking back on history, like we've made it. Like me and you right now, we've made it. Like here we are. We're still living. We still have a chance. So, but it's been because I haven't held too tightly to the only, and we're all going to have a different approach on life, okay? But the only thing I know for sure is that I've got something big and mighty out there that wants me to do the best I can with the talents that I've been given. That's all I really know. Outside of that, I never know how things are going to turn out. I just know I got to do my best. So, in order to be able to do that, I can't hold so tightly to my own beliefs, and I can't hold so tightly that your beliefs are wrong or right. What I have to hold on to is that I'm learning, and if I'm given additional information that causes my opinions to change, then I'm going to be okay with change. So, because I don't know about for you, but I can get so frozen with making the right decision that I just don't make a decision. Like, I was so frozen in the last couple of weeks, I could barely get on screen because I wasn't sure what I was going to say, but look at me now. I think I've been talking for 8 minutes and 34 seconds. And I'm speaking from my heart, and I hope that what I'm saying you can relate to. Uh, so, what's the trick that I'd like for you to try on for this week and give a chance is, when you have a moment that all of a sudden the past, you flash back in the past and you wonder, well, what the heck are you doing? You can't even, you lose all your confidence. Then remember you are someone who is growing, and that you have grown past who you were even a year ago, even a month ago, certainly 5 years ago. And most everybody that's listening to this right now probably is more along my age or somewhere around it. We've been growing for a long time. So I want you to consider that, because if you've always been somebody, if you are here with me now, you are someone who grows. You're someone who keeps on living, someone who keeps on experiencing life, and you have a chance to make this life better for yourself by knowing yourself better and feel, I mean, confident. And sometimes confidence doesn't come from, I think I can do it. I know all the answers. Um, Sometimes confidence will come from the fact of, well, I just got to do it because I don't really have a choice. I just need to move forward. And because time automatically moves us forward. I'll never, I remember that moment when I realized it doesn't matter whether or not I'm moving to the right or to the left. I'm always consistently moving through time. So no matter what we do, ladies, we are in fact moving forward. So I think that's kind of nice because, yeah, whether or not we move right, wrong, whatever, we're still moving forward, and that matters. So have courage to continue uh, living life. Remember that you are someone who learns and that you're going to continue learning. Um, put yourself out there. Do what you got to do when you got to do it. And things will work out. Things will work out. And I think that's my pep talk for today. Pep talk? Yeah. Sincerely, I want to pep you up. I want you to feel good about yourself. I want you that even if you're feeling like a head in the clouds or a mind of fog, which is exactly where I've been in the last 2 weeks, that you are enough. You are. You're doing just fine. So I look forward to next time, and I will do better, that even when my head is in a fog, that I'm going to continue showing up for this group. And even though I talk a lot about like me and you, I want you to apply this to what's going on with your life and what are you trying to do and what are your goals. Because my goal right now is building this community with you, because I'm really excited about where we're headed and where we're going. And I'm excited about comments and questions. Ask them. If what I'm talking about causes you to think about something or a situation, leave it in the comments. Leave it in the comments. Definitely. And please subscribe, share with your friends, and let's build this community. All right. Take care, y'all. Bye.